To Facebook Friday with the Magic Shores Travel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Sorry, that's a rhetorical question.
Well, it won't be because they should be able to comment back to us, assuming this feed works.
In just a minute, because we're doing our usual share and ready to go.
The initial
here
technical difficulties podcast is live now.
So our apologies for being. I know we are a minute late tonight. It has been a little bit of a hectic day because. As of course you all remember, we have our big picnic coming up tomorrow, and our first 5K. So, not our first 5K that we've ever done, but our first 5K for the agency. So.
Yes, and just so you know, like attendance at the 5K is not mandatory for attendance at the.
You can no longer register for just the June race on RunDisney.com. It is sold out. You can still, however, register for the series of 3. You're running out of time to do that. I think you have to register for that by the end of June because otherwise you can't complete it. We will have a selection of race bibs available if you'd like to wear a race bib to do the run. I can't guarantee that we'll have enough for everybody. I just kind of guessed at the number because we didn't do an RSVP thing. So hopefully we have enough for everyone who comes out. Anything else we want to know about that?
And feel free to come even if you have not registered.
Right.
So if you didn't register...
Right. Just come out and run with us,
free.
walk with us. Just come out and enjoy some fresh air on a Saturday morning.
Exactly.
We will have water available. Please feel free to bring your leashed and well-trained pets. Are
Holly's
you wearing a
bringing
costume?
me.
I'm sorry?
Are you costuming?
I'm not necessarily costuming, but I'm tutuing and...
I'm tutuing.
And of course some ears.
Well,
you gotta have ears.
Oh, I don't know if I can run with ears. They give me a headache.
Well, I might have ears tomorrow.
Okay. Maybe I'll hold my hands up while I run.
What about a beanie?
I could do a beanie, but I don't know. I don't want to give away my costume, but I don't have a beanie that fits my costume, my costume. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it.
What's Holly's mystery costume?
Ooh.
Come tomorrow and find out.
The trail that we're doing is about 1.5 miles, so we're going to do the lap 2 times. So if you're worried about not being able to make it the whole 3 miles, it's a circle, and you'll be able to get back to your car even if you don't feel like you can make it the whole way at this first race. So definitely an easy bailout point if you need it. So do not be intimidated. It's like completely fine. We have people that are going to literally walk the entire thing. We have people that are going to run the whole thing like super marathoners. So there's a whole range of abilities.
Yes, I assume that Melissa will make us all feel terrible about ourselves.
Thanks, Melissa.
If you haven't seen Captain America, the Winter Soldier, I think it is, where he laps the Falcon, I feel like it's going to be a lot like
That's
that.
going to be Melissa
On your
and me
left.
tomorrow.
On your left.
Can she even hear us?
I think she can,
Okay.
but she hasn't responded yet because she's gracious.
She's resting up for tomorrow.
She's resting up,
She's gonna go to bed.
So, anyway, if you can't make it out to the run tomorrow morning, we do have the picnic in the afternoon, and remember that is located at Young's Woods in Hanover, Pennsylvania. It's on Blooming Grove Road between York Street and Grandview. I think we're in Pavilion 2. I have to check the paper. But you'll see our sign. The sign,
Yes.
right? We'll have a sign out by the road, and we'll have a sign on the actual pavilion where we are at.
And there will be balloons.
We will have balloons, yes, because I got them today.
Assuming they survive the cats.
Yeah. We will have pin trading. We'll have trivia. We have some door prizes that you can enter for a chance to win. Of course, we'll have food. We have hot dogs, chips. We kept the menu kind of streamlined this year so that it's not like so many balls in the air with that, so that we can focus more on talking to our friends and having a nice Disney afternoon. I have some character cutouts, so you'll be able to grab a picture beside your favorite character. Selfie that.
Yeah.
Going with them to cross the road, just as a matter of information before you get there. Anything else about the picnic? It's 1 to 4. If I didn't mention that.
I don't think so.
No.
And
Come on out.
Bring a friend.
Don't feel obligated to stay for 3 hours, but
Yeah,
just come out, check in, say hi.
Free hot dog?
Yeah, lots of different options for great stuff tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see lots of our friends out there.
Is there going to be high-pressure sales pitch at this picnic?
No high-pressure sales pitch.
Oh, good, I hate those.
We're never high-pressure sales.
That's true.
We don't do that. So, I've talked to a couple people that are actually interested in booking their trip tomorrow for 2018 if the rates become available. We kind of have an inkling that they might, because the Disney site has been down for maintenance all day today. So a lot of times that means that the that the next set of offers is coming out. So I think that might have either that, or it's because they're doing our first news item tonight and they're adjusting the price of Memory Maker. So one or the other is probably happening as we speak. So
Wait, Memory Maker's changing price?
Memory Maker's changing price.
Oh.
I know.
It's going down, right?
The cat is here.
Hold on one moment.
Ben's going to handle that situation.
Come here.
She thinks that the post that holds up the stairs is the scratching post, and she's having some memory issues when we try to explain to her that that's not correct. So anyway, Ben's handled that situation. So.
To be fair, we're the ones with memory issues because we forget that she does this every time.
This is true. Okay, true story. Anyway, so our first our first news item is Memory Maker has gone from already. It happened like instantly. Nobody had any advance warning. It's just done. It's now $169 pre-purchase, $199 purchase on site. Right. When you pre-purchase, your Memory Maker will not activate for 3 days. So your pre-purchase has to be done before you leave if you want to start using it immediately once you're in the parks. Otherwise, you have to pay the full $199. This is kind of a price increase and kind of not. Because if you have a long-term memory, you'll remember that when Memory Maker was first released, it was $169. So
going back.
It was actually discounted $20 for, it's probably been 2 years that it's been $149. It's been a while. Yeah. So it really isn't like, it's not really something we want to get up in arms about, like when Disney raises ticket prices or room prices or any dining plan prices. They really have been giving us a $20 discount off their initial rate for the last couple of years. So
I think I think it's a great value.
I would still put $169 in a second.
Hands down. Hands down.
You know, when this was released, I really started thinking about it. Disneyland's PhotoPass is $39 for 1 day, $78 for 2 or more days, or 2 to 7 days. So if you're staying, for example, we were there 2 weekends. To cover those 2 weekends, I had to pay for 2 7-day photo passes.
Oh my!
Because we were there for a span of more than 7 days. So it would have cost me, what is that, $156 to buy 2 weeks worth of PhotoPass for 4 days. Right. This is $169 for up to 2 weeks.
Your entire stay.
Your entire stay. Yeah. So it's really, I mean, per day, depending on how your vacations fall, it's much, much cheaper per day to use Disney World's Memory Maker than it is to use Disneyland's PhotoPass. And it's a much better value. To say that PhotoPass at Disneyland is poor is beyond an understatement. Lack of photographers, lack of magic shots, lack of video, lack of quality overall. I mean, it's not a well fleshed out system the way it is in Disney World.
Yeah, and some of that has to do with the way they do their characters, where the characters are free range rather than pinned in.
But even the ones... Even the ones where there is a scheduled character meet and greet, often the character does not have a PhotoPass photographer.
That is true.
So, and the only places that I really remember seeing them are on Main Street in front of the castle. We looked for one in California Adventure because we wanted like an in front of Carthay Circle, which is California Adventure's castle. Mm-hmm. No PhotoPass photographer anywhere to be found.
Wow. Not the case in Walt Disney World. They're
They're everywhere in the world. Right.
Yeah. So when you walk in,
there's 6 of them lined up down the street.
You don't need to pick your first photographer because there will be 5 more.
If I'd walked down to about the 3rd or 4th one, they usually don't have a line.
Yeah.
Melissa was asking why they have different levels of quality with those services. Again, I think partially it's because of the way the character does it. And
and they're operated separately. Like Disney World and Disneyland, I mean, they communicate, but they don't. They look at each other's models, but they don't follow the same set of rules because they're completely different products.
Yeah. Well, and also since, as you all like to say, Disneyland is kind of a locals park,
right.
So it's less about the commemorative stuff.
And it's exactly why their PhotoPass, they probably don't feel the need to have so many photographers out because people are like, we're just going to Disneyland for the day. I'm not stopping to take pictures.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's just very different.
In fact, if I recall correctly, a lot of the cast members that were around the characters didn't even offer to take the cell phone, your own cell phone,
right,
and
you
take the
had
pictures.
to ask them to do, and they were willing to when you
They
asked
were willing
them,
to, but like it was less
it's
of
just
like
very
an automatic thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, based on that, Memory Maker's a really great value, and also I saw a price list for digital photos on board the Magic, and it was like $299. It said nothing about the length of your cruise, which, by the way, most of them aren't more than 7 days or 7 nights. And just $299 blanket package price. I was like, for $169, I can go to all of these photographers all over Walt Disney World, and for 7 nights, I have just the photographers on the Magic for $300.
Not to mention that you are already paying a premium to go on a Disney cruise. I mean, it's worth it. Don't get me wrong. But like, could you throw in the digital photos and try and charge me $200 for a print photo album?
Right.
Like that, I would respect you for that.
Right. So
I'll just say another thing to add to the value of the Walt Disney World. I can't say for Disneyland because I have not ever looked into it, but if you're going, say, there's a family of 12. And and you have 3 separate rooms, 3 separate reservations. Only one of those reservations needs to have a Memory Maker on their account, and you can, as long as you're all you're all in together, you can all share it.
Right.
So
when you have a big group, this is a fantastic value.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The only thing that then makes it a bummer if you're going, like we go just the 2 of us sometimes. So $169 for Memory Maker is kind of like, oh, ouch. But it's also, if you're a pass holder, it's also built in. It's still, free for a given value.
And again,
free.
it's a convenience fee. You are not stopping to get your camera out with every character. All you have to do is let them take the nice professional shots with their professional camera.
With their DSLR camera versus my cell phone
camera. And then they tap your band, and voila, magic happens.
I actually was putting together one of our albums, believe it or not, just last week, and the candid photos that they also take, there's pictures.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Oh my gosh, it brings tears to my eyes. There's this picture of Olivia, and her eyes are like this big, and just like has her autograph album ready to go to go see Cinderella.
Yeah.
And she is so excited. You can see it through this picture. I could have never captured that.
Right.
There is no way I could have done that, and it's just wonderful.
And full disclosure, I mean, we talk about frequently that we don't charge for our travel booking services. That's something that's included in the rate that Disney charges, whether you book online or book with us. We get no additional kickback for promoting Memory Maker. So just FYI, like this has nothing to do with our bottom line. This is just, it's a product we've experienced and feel pretty strongly about, that it's a good value even at $169 for the pre-purchase.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway, we've spent a lot of time on Memory Maker.
That's because no one here has stayed at Fort Wilderness Campground, so...
Oh, yeah. Amy's been in the cabins, though. So.
That's true.
So, moving through the news...
glamping.
We've heard some musings that Toy Story Land's opening date might be released during D23, which is the fan convention in Anaheim in July. I believe that wraps on July 16th or 17th. So by mid-July, we might have an opening date on Toy Story Land. And I know that's not real news, but I'm really excited about it. So, sorry you get to hear about it. So moving on to real news. Mobile quick service ordering is a thing. I'm not sure how we feel about it yet.
We're undecided at the moment.
Yeah, it's being tested in Pandora, right? At the new... Do you know what the new quick service is called? I have no idea what it's called. It's the Pandora quick service.
Yes.
It has
it's called Pandora's Box.
That would be awesome. It has it has a name that's relevant, I'm sure, to the film. I haven't seen the movie, so
does it mean I have to go buy Avatar now?
No, I don't think so. I think I can see. I can appreciate the land.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay, we're going
to
everybody to Amy's afterwards, right?
This podcast brought to you by Amazon. We
own
you.
So now you can go onto the Disney World app, and you can actually order your quick service meal before you arrive at the quick service restaurant. It sounds really cool in theory, but we were actually talking about this quite a bit before the show, and like,
how's it gonna work?
And how first world are we for real? I mean, like we can't wait in line
15 minutes
to get food.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan.
So
and Howard and Leah, if we didn't say hi to them when they joined, and Jeff's here.
Hi, everybody. So anyway, we kind of have to wait and see how this goes down. And I don't know, Jeff, did you see any of this? Was it up and running, the mobile ordering at all? when you were down last week.
Well, he was getting VIP treatment. He was not.
That's true. He wasn't having to order his own food. Yeah.
Seriously.
So, but I'm just curious to see. I know it was opening right around when the land opened because it was all supposed to happen together, but I'm not sure what the actual drop date was for that. So, so we'll keep you posted on how that's going. I'm just a little skeptical that people will order food and then not go pick it up, and will there be a lot of waste, and will it take longer to just go up and order your food because there are people like virtually in front of you in line that you can't see? Yeah. And
well, I guess I'll just have to go figure it out.
I just have a lot of questions about it.
You know what I bet they're going to do? Mm-hmm. I bet they're going to close one of the order lines and have that be for pickup.
That would make a lot of sense.
That would be. Yeah. And they're almost never all open anyway.
That's true.
Unless you go at a high capacity time, which if this isn't your first time at Disney, why are you going at a high capacity time?
You know, 11 o'clock in the morning, people. Lunch is at 11.
Sorry, that was my
at 3.
That was my Disney judgy face. I apologize.
No, but for real, eating at off-peak times, like doing anything you can do at Disney at off-peak times is it makes your experience just
Jeff ate at Tiffin's, so apparently he didn't have to worry about that.
Was it delicious? We ate there October. Yeah, because we ate with Howard and Leah. It was, oh my gosh, it was fantastic. I loved it. I want to go back. Okay, next. Frozen Summer Games. Coming to Blizzard Beach. Again. Apparently they did this last year.
Yes.
I missed it.
I remembered pictures of Kristoff because I said, how can I get a picture with Kristoff?
Oh, right.
And I had to go to Blizzard Beach to do that.
Oh, that means you got to buy a water park ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure if you want to get a picture with Kristoff, or do Blizzard Beach Summer Games, either way, that you do need to upgrade to a Park Hopper Plus. There's no more, you can no longer add just the Water Park Fun and More to your base ticket. You have to upgrade to a Park Hopper in order to be eligible to add on the water parks.
Alan, you are not supposed to lie on the internet. You've never been to a Disney park as an adult, and you certainly didn't break in.
Breaking into the parks.
Hi, Becky.
Bad.
Oh, Becky.
Let's see. Oh, okay, I've got some more Disneyland news. I know, I'm sorry, that's where we've been most recently, so that's where my news items are from. The Big Thunder Trail has just reopened from Fantasyland to Frontierland, of course, like 2 days after we left. Because we definitely didn't go back and try to use that trail to cut through and not have to go through the castle, like, close to fireworks time, only to find it closed. So... It's open again. Apparently that portion of the Star Wars land construction is complete. So if you're going to Disneyland, you'll now be able to cut through from Fantasyland directly to Frontierland, which is just convenient in some circumstances.
Indeed.
I think there's also a smoking area back there. So if that's something that you find a necessity, kudos. It's open again. So some exciting Universal news this week. Ben's jumping up and down about it.
I'm making...
Not literally. On the inside.
I'm making Mario sounds because they just announced that Super Nintendo World is opening at Universal Orlando. And I do believe they said that there's going to be a Mario Kart ride.
I think so, yeah.
So I might finally get to go to Universal.
Honestly, whose Mario Kart are they taking this off of? Because if you're taking it off of mine, everyone's going to die. We're going to fall off the Rainbow Road and... there will be mass casualties. So I hope that whoever's designing the ride is better at Mario Kart than me.
Jeff says Satuli Canteen is the quick service in Pandora.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, so I'm very excited about that. We're not big thrill riders, so we haven't. There hasn't been enough value to us,
to go to Universal.
Apparent value to us to go to Universal. But between Simpsons Land and Super Nintendo Land,
I think it should be worth a day for us to go.
Pretty sure I can wrangle a ticket out of that.
Yeah, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yay!
Unfortunately, Universal builds stuff really fast. So.
They do, but
we should take Ben to Universal.
So excited about that.
There is another change coming to Disney that I wasn't aware you could do this because I actually asked a cast member if you could and was told no. But
that's good.
Well, yeah. I was totally trying to cheat the system and get extra fast passes.
Come on, yo.
Anyway, apparently there was a glitch in the FastPass system that if you had someone's Magic Band who was an annual pass holder and you took it into the park with you, whether they had actually scanned in that morning and came into the park using their own fingerprint or not, you could get FastPasses in their name. So apparently that's ending. So if you were using that system to gain extra free bonus FastPasses before,
no more.
It's done. Canceled. Sorry.
You've been caught.
Yeah. Busted. You can, however, still, if there's somebody in your party who has a FastPass and they are in the park that day and they have, like, you know, maybe Grandma doesn't want to go on Space Mountain, you can still make a Space Mountain FastPass for her and then someone in your group can use it to ride again. Now, that works out really great if it's like Grandma and Grandpa taking the 2 teenagers. It probably is awesome because then 2 teenagers are getting 6 fast passes for the mountain ranges every day.
Yeah.
If you're, I mean, if there's like one person in your group that doesn't ride and you have a party of 5, it doesn't do you any good anyway unless everybody else is willing to wait for the one person that gets to go again.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it might help you some places and some places not. So even parties that have half of the people that don't like to ride things. It's pretty much your only like way to get extra bonus fast passes now. Or be super, super nice to cast members, and maybe they'll give you some for free.
Or you're stuck on a ride.
Yeah, that'll work too. Or have a ride break that you have a fast pass for. Then you can get, yeah.
Or be raining.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay, there are a couple other ways. But most of them are luck of the draw anymore. There's no, they're like the systematic ways to scam the fast pass game are pretty much over.
Fast passes are their way of compensating you for having an un-Disney experience at Disney. So
for real. Express Transportation apparently is doing pretty well. They're offering a summer pass for annual pass holders. So if you're a pass holder planning on making multiple trips over the summer, this sounds like a really great deal. I want to say it's like $59 for this whole summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that gets you what? I'm sorry?
That gets you the express transportation so that you just do one security check in the morning and then you're transferred from backstage to backstage and you don't have to do additional security screenings during the day to park hop.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I know, right? They started it right after our last trip because we would have totally done it.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of going through security ever. So.
Hey, Alan, we are not taking a Disney River cruise next year.
No.
Probably. We are doing the Adventures by Disney England and France, which is really just London and Paris.
What are you guys doing next year?
Well, let's see. They just replaced their air conditioner and had their driveway redone,
details.
not having the money to do Adventures by Disney.
Details.
But yeah, so
Everyone
we
should
are
come
doing
with
a
us.
guided tour of London and Paris and the environs around there. So it's not a river cruise, although it is on our to-do list.
Yep.
If you would like to book one, give us a call.
We'll get there. You can come with us. Was that it? That's the end of our news.
Oh.
Huh, okay, so we're actually talking today about Fort Wilderness.
I should have built a fort. Maybe out of pillows.
So, Fort Wilderness,
Fort Wilderness, yes.
it is the only place where you can camp in Walt Disney World and still be considered an on-site guest. I mean, surely Orlando has other campgrounds, but why would you go there? Yeah. They do have tent sites as well as RV sites. And if you don't want to cart your RV all the way there from, we're based out of Pennsylvania. I don't know, you could be watching us from anywhere. I mean, maybe you're coming from, like, Alaska, and you don't want to drive your RV to Florida. You can actually rent an RV from several companies around the area. They will bring it to Fort Wilderness Campground, set it up for you, and you have a room waiting when you arrive.
Yes.
So, kind of a cool option. And in fact, I don't know, I'm willing to bet that Howard and Leah might be able to or willing to answer any questions that anyone wants to pose regarding that, because I know you guys have done that fairly recently.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm just going to volunteer your services if anyone has interest in any details about that. If they want to, if you want to talk about it in the feed. Leah's still on with us now.
Yeah,
unless she's the viewer that just went away.
No, she's still on according to this.
Okay.
She's still on according to this.
So,
there's actually over 700, almost actually 800 campsites.
yeah, it's huge. It's a huge resort.
Huge.
There are 800 people that like camping.
I know, in America, can you imagine?
No.
And what's cool about this is, because I camped a lot as a child, all the campsites have a concrete slab, which is pretty cool. They all have picnic tables.
Even the tent sites.
Yes, even
right?
the tent
So you
sites.
have a parking space at your site.
And the premium sites actually have a place where you can pull a camper and space for a tent. So you can have both. You can actually sleep up to 10 guests in one campsite.
If you don't like them.
Yeah.
Put them
So
in
you can
tents.
actually split them out to
A campsite, and the premium sites are a little bit more, I want to say they're like in the 150-ish a night range.
I think so.
But you can sleep 10 people for that 150 versus $150 will get you like a preferred room at a value resort where you can sleep 4.
Right.
So you can basically have your cost.
Yeah.
And take more people. So that's kind of a cool option.
Howard has offered to answer any questions if the price is right.
Ooh.
So perhaps, Howard, we will buy you and your lovely wife an adult beverage of your choice the next time we go out. How about that if you answer questions? I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
But each campsite actually has water, cable, electric, a charcoal grill. They all have charcoal grills. Most have sewer, not all of them. And most are pet friendly, not all of them. You can't take your pet into every area of the campground. So just have to be
know what you're booking when you book it.
And they require certain length of leashes and all that fun stuff for your animal too.
So they can't wander off like 100 yards from you.
Exactly.
Get tangled with another animal, and they're not looking for 101 Dalmatians kind of situation here.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things we were actually talking about before the show too was how the campground is laid out. It's very private in the way where you're like in your own little cul-de-sac almost. Mm-hmm. So
but it's also very far to walk from some of the campsites up to the main
Howard says
building.
that there is a big dog park too.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, there is. I forgot about that. So I was going to say.
Distance from
yes. So you can rent an electric golf cart, but they go very, very quickly. So you need to rent it about a year out. So if that's something that you think that you would want to have at your campsite, definitely when you're booking, just go ahead and book the golf cart as well.
Or you can just choose the premium campsite that's going to get you up closer to where all of this stuff is at. So those are two different choices you've got there. One of the things that we looked at, in fact, right before the show, I wanted to look at the distance from Wilderness Lodge to Fort Wilderness because we've stayed at Wilderness Lodge and I've walked over to Fort Wilderness, which is about a mile. It's not. I mean, it's a nice little trail, and it's actually the jogging trail for Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, I've walked to Fort Wilderness, and it's only a mile. Like, surely the campsites aren't spread out more than a mile. It turns out they actually are. So Fort Wilderness kind of comes down long ways from Bay Lake, and Wilderness Lodge is actually situated over to its west to the left.
This is the podcast where we decide we need some sort of overhead projector to put the maps up. Go ahead.
So Wilderness Lodge is like here versus where like the boat dock at Fort Wilderness is at, which the boat dock is also where Hoop-Dee-Doo Review and Mickey's Backyard Barbecue is there. Yeah. The pony rides are up there. Like all the stuff, if you're going to Fort Wilderness and you're not staying there, that you want to do is about a mile from Wilderness Lodge. But Fort Wilderness actually extends a mile and a half or more. Yeah. Maybe it looks like possibly even closer to 2 miles from where all of that stuff is at. So
it's a hike.
Yeah, so you're not going to want to walk it probably.
Leah says that preferred is best because that is the 100, 200, and 300 loop. Better than premium in her opinion.
Don't be fooled by names.
And preferred is closest to the boat dock. It looks like we don't know Howard to drink. We apparently owe Leah a drink. So
2.5 miles, Jeff says.
Jeff says 2.5 miles. Wow.
And possibly from the farthest most right-hand point to the farthest most left-hand point, I can see where you would have 2 miles in there, 2.5 easily. So,
and there is in-resort transportation.
Right.
The buses are there to take you around and take you to the front.
Right.
Which then I guess you get onto another.
Right, to go to the parks. Because that bus that goes around, unlike like Port Orleans, for example, where the bus goes the whole way around the resort and then leaves and goes to the parks.
Right.
These buses run internal transport, then you transfer at the front and then
go to the park. So you guys
are the complete package, Howard.
You will have extra time involved as far as doing the internal.
If you're looking for a very leisurely vacation where you're maybe not going to have all park days, like maybe you're going to go for 8 days and have 4 days in the parks, Fort Wilderness is a really nice option because the on-site amenities at Fort Wilderness are many.
Yeah.
First of all, the pool there is fantastic. It's the only... This is technically in the moderate class of resorts, but it's kind of a weird hybrid because obviously it doesn't have any standard rooms at all because that's where the campsites are. Right. But it does have family suite style cabins like they have in the value resorts. So it's kind of a strange classification, but I guess Disney didn't really know where to put it.
Yeah.
But with the amenities that it has an awesome pool that has water slides, and usually, like, to get a water slide, you have to be at least a moderate.
Yeah.
And really, go to a deluxe if you want good water slides. So the pool is actually really awesome and a great feature to have here. Plus, you're on the lake, so you have boat transportation to Magic Kingdom, which puts you more in line with you have to be in a deluxe otherwise to have boat transportation to Magic Kingdom. So that's a really cool perk. It has 2 awesome dinner shows. It's got Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, which is beloved by all. Yeah. And Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, which is not talked about ever. I never hear anybody say it.
I actually have somebody going there in October.
Okay, so I'll be anxious to hear what they say.
Yes. Yeah.
What else is there? They have pony rides, they have wagon rides, they have carriage rides, you can rent bikes. I mean, it's like...
They have archery.
Yeah. It's a really cool place to just go and hang out for a couple of days.
Yeah. Jeff says that the housekeeping does the dishes at the cabin.
Yes, they do.
Sweet!
And he says the loop around the campground, at the campground adds half a mile.
Yeah, okay. So, gotcha.
Yeah, so, I mean, dishes done.
Right.
Well, actually, since we're talking about the cabins are super cool. I couldn't believe it when I walked into it.
And they sleep 6.
They sleep 6 plus, which means 6 plus
an infant.
A child 3 or under in a crib type of thing. The one thing I noticed coming off the bus, getting onto the cabin, it was quiet. And it was like, it took you away from the hustle and bustle from what I'm envisioning, coming back from Magic Kingdom, being all geared up, and then it was just quiet, which was different because you're in a cabin, there's nobody attached to either side of you, there's nobody on top of you, there's nobody underneath of you. You're in your cabin, which I thought was pretty cool. So...
Sounds kind of nice.
Yeah. And one thing I just found out today was that you can actually pre-order groceries for your pantry and refrigerator for the cabins. There's a place online that you can go to, and by 5 o'clock the day that you check in, your groceries will be at your cabin.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Anything from morning muffins to ice cream, they will put into your cabin.
Yeah, that could be bad.
Yeah, and it's a full-service kitchen, an awesome dining area, full bathroom, queen-size bed, and bunk beds. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, because to look at the pictures online, it doesn't look very large.
No, it doesn't.
It looks very you can sleep 6 bodies in there, but it doesn't look comfortable.
It's 504 square feet is how large the cabins are. They are all air conditioned as well, which that's a deal breaker in Florida.
Very important.
So air conditioned. They too actually still have your picnic table. They still have your charcoal grill. So you're still getting the same things as a campsite, but you're in a, I think, luxury cabin. I mean, it has a dishwasher also. Like, I know that they will do your dishes for you that are in the sink, but it does have a dishwasher. Yeah, it has a dishwasher.
So you get a kick out of that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought definitely.
Jeff's,
there's no handling.
There's no handling fee if you go through Disney to order your food. So.
Yep.
Oh.
So that was
so even cool. If you're not a camper per se, the cabins are just a nice way to be out in the woods with all of the luxuries of home or a hotel. Because I would classify myself as not a camper.
Leah says that when they stayed at Preferred using the internal buses, we're just fine. But if you weren't, you probably want to rent a golf cart.
Right.
So, well, they do a lot of, like you're saying, they do a lot of activities. Didn't we go on the hayride?
We did do. It wasn't a hayride. It was just the wagon ride because it wasn't. I think they had for a while been doing a hayride in the fall for Halloween, and then there was actually one for a while they were doing a sleigh for Christmas, but the status of that might be in flux as far as whether that's continuing or not. But yeah, we did a wagon ride, and it wasn't quite what I had in mind when we signed up for the wagon ride, because they didn't really take us to see any sights. We just rode around the campground. And they did stop where we could see the castle, and there are definitely places at Fort Wilderness that you can see the fireworks, because you can see the castle.
And the electric water pageant.
Yes, electric water pageant comes right by.
Yes.
So sorry. No, that's okay. No, it's good. It's all the same stuff, so it's important. So it was very dark on the wagon ride. We really couldn't see a lot. I don't remember what time of year we did that.
Bug time of year.
It's all bug time of year.
I don't remember which trip it was.
I don't either.
It was probably the year we went 3 times.
I know we were at Ohana that night.
So it was 12, 14,
it was a while ago.
or it's probably 14. Maybe 14?
14, I think so. Okay. Yeah, it was 2014. I don't remember which trip. I still don't know what time of year.
Yeah. Well, this year we're getting to try out something new they're doing there, right?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they're trying something new this year. It's the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. That's cool. And if you don't have your tickets, too bad, so sad, because I'm pretty sure it's sold out for every night. It was one of those things. I called at 7 a.m. on the day that we could make the reservation, chose the time, rethought the time a little bit after I hung up, called back 20 minutes later, and the time I wanted was already sold out. So,
that's the way it works.
Yeah, so that particular thing, I think they're probably going to expand it. It was only running 2 or 3 nights a week, I think, and very limited